Hello, 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 and welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Good news today, guys. We got the Mustang up and running. Figured I'd give you guys a little update. I've been thrashing on this thing non-stop. It's frickin' July 4th. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy Bald Eagle Day. And hopefully you guys are celebrating with your friends and family tonight and watching some fireworks or setting some off or having some good old American beer. Anyways, I'm stoked. Mustang is up and running great. I'm gonna give you the lowdown and some updates for you guys. I just took the car out for a test drive, and let me just tell you guys, the car's never felt this solid before. I've been team no sleep lately, and literally have just been thrashing on this thing nonstop. So we put the new sheet metal intake on it with the 102 millimeter throttle body. We got a 4 to 3 inch coupler from my buddy Brandon up at Beyond Redline up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And this new intake manifold, let me just tell you guys, this thing pulls like a frickin' Honda motor now with the new intake. That old LS1 intake with this camshaft wasn't a good combo. Let me just tell you, because now the car definitely lost some bottom end grunt. I'll give it that. It's got better throttle response. There's actually a comment on one of the last videos that some guy said that of course the Mustang is going to rev up faster because it has no transmission attached. But let me just tell you guys, it still snaps that fast, like transmission attached or not. Has way better throttle response, but doesn't have as much low end power. This intake manifold is definitely a high RPM ripper, and down low I could definitely tell that the car lost a little bit of grunt, but after 5,000 RPM, it's like this thing hits VTEC, and I'm not even kidding, guys. It is insane how much more high RPM power that this freaking cheap sheet metal intake is making. I wish I could have got like back-to-back dyno comparisons for you guys, but you know, it's just it's just what happens when you're fucking racing time and racing fucking trying to get shit done, you know. So, anyways, this thing is dialed. It seems really good. It's on 10 pounds of boost. I'm not gonna go try to fucking burn the house down right away. I'm gonna probably make a pass on like 10 pounds, maybe 15 pounds tomorrow. We're gonna take it to the track and hopefully go have some fun tomorrow as long as the weather holds out. It's been kind of scattered thunderstorms for the last like week, so hopefully the rain holds out. But yeah, anyways, another update for you guys is the transmission. The transmission in this thing, mint. So we had some issues with the converter fitting kind of tight, and I think it's just because the pump bushing is new and the converter, I think maybe the pump snout, or like the pump stator, the stationary part on the pumps, the splines on the pump, might be ever so slightly tweaked, but it's not bad enough for me not to run it. I think the converter had a lot of fluid in it when I was trying to spin it the first time. And anyways, moral of the story is I got some transmission guys that I got a lot of opinions on it, and I threw the converter in. It's just a little bit tricky to get this converter to fit. It was the first time too, and I feel like I was overthinking it the other day, just no sleep and wasn't really thinking. But anywho, converter fits in the trans good. You know, it does the 3 clicks, and it's just kind of tight to spin it. You know, I feel like it's just kind of normal. It doesn't freewheel with your pinky or anything like that, but it does spin nonetheless. It's not like locked up or anything. And I hooked it onto the transmission, or I put it on the transmission, threw the transmission in the car, and then I struggled for like a whole nother day because this damn CSI bell housing shield, yes, it's a great idea to have it, but man, it does not fit in this fucking tunnel. The transmission is so tight inside the tunnel on this car that the shield literally was like impossible to bolt on, like literally impossible. I tried everything I could. I still might put the shield on with a strap, but when I bought this shield, it did not come with the strap that goes around the back here. So I might put this back on with just the strap, because like I said, I literally can't get the bolts in. I already messed up part of the shield here because the bolt was like digging in, and then the holes weren't lining up, and it just wasn't working out. So you know, I would like to run this shield, but like I said, might have to attach it a different way than using the bell housing bolts, because Normally there's like a bracket that goes around the bell housing to help bolt it down, and I don't have the bracket and I don't have the strap to hold it on the back. So if you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. But anyways, I had to get another drive shaft. That's another thing, is I took the drive shaft to the machine shop, and the same place that I got the drive shaft made could no longer make me a drive shaft because their drive shaft guy had quit. Like, he just, the only guy they had that made drive shafts fucking up and quit. So I said, oh, so I'm kind of screwed on the drive shaft, and they pretty much told me, yeah, you're screwed. So I had to go to a different place, and I went there yesterday with my drive shaft and said, hey, can you fix this bent drive shaft? And they said, no, like, we got to make a fucking new one. So I have a 3.5-inch drive shaft now with all brand new joints, everything like that. That guy's really hooked me up. And let me tell you guys, Machine Services in Green Bay is definitely the place to go for a drive shaft. I dropped this fucker off at noon, and they called me at 2:30 and said, your drive shaft is done. And I can't believe it, how fast of a turnaround and how good of a quality drive shaft this thing is, guys. Just awesome fucking place to deal with. Great turnaround and a great product. I actually had the drive shaft extended 1/4 of an inch, which leaves me 3/4 of an inch coming out of the transmission, which I feel like is good because the yoke has more engagement into the end of the transmission, where beforehand I told you guys where this transmission had issues. I'm pretty sure it had issues because the yoke was fucked. Like, it was junk. The yoke was all banged up from me hitting it with a hammer, and I think one of the snap rings blew out, or the yoke just had play inside the output shaft. It definitely had play in the output shaft. And this new drive shaft, brand new yoke, is super tight. Like, it's not tight where it's like hitting that tail housing or anything like that, but it's tight. Like, I can't move the yoke. Like, it has no play. The bushing is good. It's not leaking anymore. It's just fucking awesome. I'm super happy with how the car is turning out now. No leaks on the transmission, no leaks out of the drive shaft anymore because the old drive shaft yoke, like I was saying, fucking leaked like a sieve. And I think that's the reason that everything went out. I checked my pinion angle. The pinion angle is good. Like, I checked, the transmission is flat. I rebuilt the cross member, so that is a lot more solid now too. Just awesome. I got a lot of stuff done on the car. And like I said, rebuilt the cross member. I checked like the transmission sits flat like this. The drive shaft comes out flat, and it's at a slight angle. Like, the drive shaft's at a really slight angle coming down to the rear end, and then the rear end is already facing like let me try to straighten out here. The rear end sits like this, like a little bit up. So like when the rear end torques, I'm sure that everything's going to be parallel. It looks like a few degrees should make everything parallel, which is what I've been reading. With pinion angle and stuff, you want it set where when you accelerate, you have to accommodate for 3 degrees of rear end movement. And let me just tell you guys, I just took this car out. New high RPM intake manifolds ripping. First time I've ever actually hit the rev limiter under power. Like, I stayed in it because the car just kept pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, where before it would like come into power, it set you back in the seat, and then it just kind of nose over. And I feel like that's why the car's never mile an hour like it should. It never mile an hour out the back door like it should have. So new intake, pulls like a Honda, and the second gear pull that I did a 2-3 shift, and I hit the 7,500 RPM rev limiter, and this thing was still asking for more RPM. So I know Jack Roberts revs his 4.8 to 8,500. I don't know if I want to go that high, but I definitely might set my limiter up closer to 8,000 and spin this thing and shift it at 7,500. I think that'd be a good spot for it. I do have the trunnion upgrade, the fucking dual springs, all that kind of stuff. It is still stock bottom end, but I mean, these 4.8s just love RPM, guys. This cam, Tick Performance Stage 3 cam, working great. Now I can actually see how this cam should perform in this car because the intake is actually matched for it. I have a higher RPM intake manifold instead of something that doesn't make high RPM power. And let me just tell you guys, this high RPM manifold, cheap Jegs fucking sheet metal intake, I approve 100%. I recommend it. The only thing is the vacuum lines on the bottom are a little sketchy, but I just ran the car for like 20 minutes to make sure that I got it nice and hot, to make sure I didn't have any issues with that stuff. Whew, yeah, just fucking dialed. I got some piston rings and some new bearings coming for the CRX. I have that motor sitting in the shop right now. And yeah, so we're gonna try to go racing tomorrow. They are racing Friday and Saturday, so if we don't make it out tomorrow, I'm gonna try to make it Saturday. But yeah, so anyways, guys, thanks for watching this little update video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are super stoked for the Mustang, because I'm definitely super stoked. Yeah, got it all done. Got it ready to rip. Everything is solid. Car's never felt this good. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the video. Let me know what you guys are wanting to see with the Mustang, or whatever content you want to see later. Check out my website, huntertune.com. And yeah, pick up a sticker, pick up some injectors, pick up a turbocharger. Email me if you guys have questions on any of that stuff. And yeah, till the next video, guys, have a great night and better tomorrow. We will see you later.